Welcome to Last Time Online. This episode is brought to you by Dogma Games, my very own game studio. I'm currently working on my first game called Wake Out of Twilight. Wake Out of Twilight is a 2D platformer game based in a futuristic dystopia where nearly all parts of life are automated. Life couldn't get any easier, but the price to pay was more than anybody agreed to. Navigate through traps, obstacles, and puzzles in order to save everybody from the nightmare. If you would like to be the first to know when I have updates or when the game is releasing, you can go to Steam and wishlist the game. Now, let's get on with the episode. What's up, gamers? Welcome to Last Time Online, the podcast online where we just talk about nerdy things. And your crew today is I'm George, and then we have Lewis.
It's time for the goats. Are you ready for the goats?
We have Max,
Hi.
Justin,
Welcome.
and Jonathan.
What's up?
And for the nerd report of the week, where we share things that we did over the last week, is I usually start, and let's see, I played three things I have to mention. I finished The Last Kingdom on Netflix, the latest season. I spoke about that before. Once again, it's not like the best show, but I will say like this season actually did have a pretty good, exciting ending. So there's that. It's a show about Vikings, and it's like politics and fighting in that game. It's like a watered down Viking version of Game of Thrones, I guess. Something like that. And moving on, I played a lot of Forza Horizon 5. I played the Hot Wheels content, and that was super fun. It's super fun going around like loop-de-loops in a game that has like the driving mechanics that's a little bit closer to a sim. So that was really cool. And I played I'll let Justin talk a little bit more about this, but I have to mention my part of it. I played Fortnite for the first time. No, let me rephrase. I played Fortnite
Why?
Battle Royale for the first time. I played it back when it was a zombie game, and I haven't played it since.
Why are you so ashamed, man?
I it's I don't know. I have no answer for that. That was a lot of stuttering, but I have no answer for that. Except I guess I get a little bit mad that they just like buy up all this IP, like all these cartoons and stuff. And now all of a sudden it's a Fortnite thing. Like Naruto's a Fortnite thing. Destiny's gonna be a Fortnite thing. God of
That's
War.
the joke.
I know Kratos is a Fortnite thing now.
It's that guy
Poor
from
Kratos.
Fortnite.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and so like the thing I'll brag about is thanks to Sensei Alvaro that was like teaching me how to play. My very first game in Fortnite, we won.
What the heck?
So we played another game, and we won again. And I played a third time, and we won a third time. My first three games in Fortnite got wins, easy claps. And then my fourth game in Fortnite, we got second place, but still okay. Yeah, and then yeah. So it was a good day. We got pumped up. And that was basically all I did. Yep, that's most of the stuff that I did over the last week. So we'll move on and we'll go with Lewis next.
I wasn't on for the last episode, but during that time I did watch the Dragon Ball superhero movie, and I really liked it a lot. I say it's probably like my second favorite movie out of like the three recent ones, out of the Broly, Battle of the Gods, and this one. The animation didn't really bother me, even though people say it's like, oh, it looked bad and it's not like to the original. It's because it was like 3D cell animated. But I think the overall story was good. The fighting was good. Had a lot of heart. A lot of
It's funny.
jokes. Yeah, it was pretty funny. I watched it in the Japanese. It was real good. But I kind of do want to see it in the English dub, because I did grow up watching it like that, watching the favorite voice actors. Because I'm a big fan of Piccolo and Gohan, and it's like I felt like this movie was like made for me as like a fan of those characters when I was little. Let's see, what else have I done? I watched She-Hulk, the first episode. That was real good. Can't wait to see more of that. It's real funny. Uh, Does it House of the Dragon? That was a great start to that show. I think has a lot of potential, and I can't wait to see what else they show in it. For games, I got this like new cool device for my phone. You guys probably heard of it. It's like the Backbone one.
Ah.
So it's like a little handheld thing for your phone.
Mhm.
So far, I've been like liking it a lot. I've been playing a little bit of Diablo Immortal, some Apex Legends. Um, I tried Call of Duty Mobile. It's pretty fun. I just like it a lot because you can just log on to your computer, PS5. You can do the remote play. I like tried Fall Guys with that. It's pretty fun.
Ah,
You just
okay.
like just play Fall Guys whenever you want. But yeah, that's pretty much my week.
You could probably slay in like the mobile only lobbies with those things
Oh,
on.
yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. Like a lot of people just play on like on the screen with their thumbs and fingers.
Uh-huh.
With this, you just like noob stomp on them. Like
That's
it's
what
pretty unfair.
that's what I like to hear. All right. So next we'll go on to Max.
For me this week, Saturday, I had my fantasy football draft for you sports fans out there. I think my team's a huge dumpster fire, so I'm going to leave it at that.
They do look bad.
Yeah, I know. I got last place, so it looks like I may be repeating this year, but hey, we'll find out. Show-wise, I watched the show Russian Doll on Netflix. It was Natasha Lyonne's show. It was the second season. I don't know how much more they can get out of that show because I thought that they were pretty good after season one. But it's a bit sci-fi-y. The first season is pretty much like her Groundhog Day, where every time she dies, she comes back and she repeats the same day and doesn't know why. So that got resolved, and this new season, I'm not going to say, because I feel like that whole show is like a huge spoiler, so if anyone was going to watch it, like, if you like some sci-fi and some trippy stuff, I would give it a shot. Finished the first season of the show Invincible on Amazon Prime, finally. I think that show's been out for like a year, but I finally got around to watching it. Yeah, it's a good one. I liked it. I like it more than I liked The Boys, but I haven't seen the recent season of The Boys yet. But the show I liked. I thought the characters are better. They're more fleshed out and Invincible than they are in the Boys.
Invincible's that anime, right?
Yeah.
It's not anime.
Yeah, it's animated.
Yeah.
It's a adult cartoon. That's what I call it.
It's season 2 comes out next year, I think.
I'm just trying to get Max to say that
I
he
ain't
likes
taped.
anime.
No, never. Never. I did not. Well, if you want me to go to the anime, I did not watch Dragon Ball, but the joke I made the other day was that I watched the Dragon Balls. I watched the House of the Dragon, just like pretty much everyone else I think in this group did. It was a solid start. I don't like Matt Smith and stuff. He's the one that plays the uncle. He was one of the doctors in Doctor Who.
Oh, everybody's all up on his nuts.
Yeah, I don't like him because he always plays a huge piece of shit. And when he popped up on screen, I went, I bet he's a huge piece of shit. And
spoilers.
No spoiler.
It's the first episode.
He could not. It's one episode.
To be fair, a lot of characters in Game of Thrones were huge pieces of shit.
Yeah, what? Yeah, that's true.
And the ones that aren't, it doesn't look good for them in the story. Right?
Yeah, they die.
They die.
But I am slightly concerned with the show already, just because I don't know how many seasons they can go, because it seems like a pretty contained story. I also did not watch like any trailers, or after the episode was over, they had like this season clip thing. I didn't watch any of that, so I don't know. But like Game of Thrones had the advantage of having different households trying to vie for one goal, and this one is kind of just them right now. But it might be a good family drama.
Yeah, you're not the first person I've heard say that. I think that's probably a concern of a lot of people, and I agree that it's concerning because it might just end up being like a medieval, like you said, family drama.
Yeah.
Basically,
but
like
I mean,
Succession.
Yeah, like I'm not, yeah. But yeah, I'm not knocking the show. I thought it was a very good start, so I hope they can keep it going. Like Lewis, I watched She-Hulk. It was amusing for a first episode. I was surprised that I really did love there's a end credit sequence that
Yeah.
like for me personally, like I might say it's a top 5 MCU end credit sequence because I'll leave it at that. Then I I watched Halo, so I finished that season
Wow.
on the Paramount. I want to see what all the fuss was about.
There was fuss?
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
did you know? Yeah, he takes off his helmet.
Oh,
I wanted to see if I would be offended like everyone else was.
You can
Probably
see butt-
not.
And
you can see
I didn't
butt
care, but
cheeks.
yeah, but it did remind me of like what they did with Boba Fett, where they just wanted to show him out of costume for the majority of the show. But I mean, I liked the story. It was a cool little story. I don't know if that's what the games are like because I've not played the games. I have no ties to the series, so like as an outsider, it was a entertaining first season of a show. So I think they are doing a second one, but I will check that out whenever that happens in a year or two. I don't know how long it takes them to do that show. But other than that was my week.
I have a feeling that show is like what 343 wanted the story of Halo to be. Since they didn't make up the lore and stuff, it was like Bungie that made up the groundwork
Yeah.
for that game. But
Yeah, to me, for what it was, I enjoyed it.
I still can't get over that scene where they use a sniper rifle bullet on a grunt, which is terrible. Anyway, on to you, Justin. You're next.
Well, I also did watch She-Hulk, and I thought it was great. I enjoyed it. I also did watch Game of Thrones, which is huge echo going around here. But I do agree with what you say, Max. Like, it's kind of hard to think where they're gonna go because like they can only go so far before they start tying into the original series, right? So, but I was right that a shit ton of people were gonna watch it because they were curious. I did also go watch the Dragon Ball Z movie in 4DX and got my ass beat for 2 hours.
I heard that was uncomfortable.
Okay, so
what? Tell me more about this.
Okay, so it's like watching a movie in a roller coaster, man. Like every time they'd throw punches, dude, your chair would just start going back and forth. And it was me, Jonathan, and Alex who actually went, and we're not the smallest people, and they're throwing us out of the chairs, dude. Like this stuff was, and there was a part where they kind of sparred, and we're like, oh, that was kind of rough. And then I leaned over and I was like, fuck, they haven't even started fighting yet. like the real fights. But I overall did enjoy the movie because I am, like Lewis, a huge fan of Gohan. But when he became the wuss man that he is, what can you do?
Disappointment.
Are those seats? You can't control the sensitivity of them?
No, you can only
Really?
control.
No, you control the water mist.
Oh, dang.
No, dude, those things needed a seatbelt for sure.
It was okay. I didn't hate it. It just wasn't super great, if that makes any sense.
Was it distracting?
No, I don't think so.
Not for that movie.
No.
Did you watch it subbed or dubbed?
Dubbed.
Subbed.
Of course.
Subbed?
Always.
How do you watch it? I was gonna say like how was it watching it subbed when your head's like shaking everywhere, you know?
We also got to watch what it was, a trailer for Wakanda Forever. Because they did it with the seats, and that was entertaining. Every time they would stomp the ground, our chair would go boom, and we're like, oh.
And we felt like we were flying over the water.
I felt like I was home.
I didn't know I needed to watch Wakanda Forever and Black Adam in motion chairs until I watched those trailers in motion chairs.
So I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer for Black Adam, like when he's flying and then he like breaks the part of the jet. Yeah. So like we're sitting there when he breaks the part of the jet. Just imagine your chair tilting all the way to the left, and you just like slam into the person next to you. So.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So.
Man.
So that's the only way that movie may be watchable to some people.
Like I said, the chairs.
You can't fall asleep if you're being swung around.
Who
Oh,
falls
yeah.
asleep in movies?
You
Come on,
know,
man.
I'm gonna bring
it
my.
would-
I'm gonna
Anthony.
bring a date. I'm gonna bring a date. To
it
that
would be
There
a
you go.
test.
one. Like they hit the plane. Like whoa. Like,
Yeah. Oh,
I'll be
Hey,
anticipating it.
you won't have to do the whole arm reach thing, the whole yawn thing. But yeah, like overall, like I enjoyed the movie. The seats it was fun. I wish it was more fat people friendly. Um, because no, just because the arms were a little bit close, and I kind of have broad shoulders and whatever, so it's like, eh. But other than that, it was fun. What else did I do this week? I actually also did play Fortnite. Me and Alvaro were getting some dubs all week. Um, that was fun. Listen to the listeners, whoever listens. Do not be greedy with the Kamehameha like I did. But sometimes it works. And we ended up playing with George yesterday, and that was fun. But eventually, Fortnite will be the new what is it? And Ready Player One. What's it called? I'm drawing a blank right now.
The Oasis.
The Oasis. Yeah, the Oasis. But I think that is all I did this week. Oh, and I actually had another second campaign for my D&D session, and nothing too eventful this week except for almost half my party died, so that was great because they are still level 1 and they think they can traverse through things without getting slapped. And Jonathan can contest to that because he walked in and was like, "Oh, I'm full health," and the guy was like, "Not today, bitch." And then
It's Darwinism.
and I think that is all I did this week.
All right, cool. Jonathan, you're up.
Okay. My week started with that Dragon Ball superheroes movie. I really liked the movie. I was a little iffy on the animation style going into it, just because it was one of those things that in certain angles it looked cool, but in other angles it looked off. And I think in the overall context of the movie, there wasn't that many times where it looked like off. For the most part, it looked really good. The particle effects for the big key blasts looked like amazing. Like especially the end. You know, every Dragon Ball movie has that like end finisher. I'm not going to spoil what it is, but
Spirit Bomb.
I'm not gonna say what it is.
Good guess. Good guess.
But for a lot of people, I'm sure it was like one of those, like, it's one of those awesome moments because it kind of just builds off of all the history you have with those characters. I really liked the callbacks to not just Dragon Ball Z but also Dragon Ball with Piccolo. I thought it was a really funny movie, and I liked the corny jokes. And Piccolo's asking the important questions, like why Gohan doesn't need glasses when he turns Super Saiyan.
I don't get the joke, but
Don't either.
Well, because he
Sorry.
wear like the whole ever since he was in high school, they showed him, they aged him up to high school. He's wore like thick frame glasses, and he has bad vision. But like when he's in combat, he like throws his glasses away and he turns Super Saiyan and he can see really well. He's like, "What? You don't need glasses when you go Super Saiyan?" Because he's like, "I can't see, you guys. Help me find my glasses." Like a Velma at the end. It was just like small cheesy stuff, but it was really good. I really enjoyed the motion chairs. I don't know if that came off based on my reaction when Justin said he got beat the shit. We did get the shit beat out of us for 2 hours, but like for me, it added to the experience. Like I don't know if I would have enjoyed it as much as I did with another movie, as much as I did with Dragon Ball. All the punches and like the quick movements you feel in the chairs, and like you know, it's like when there's those rapid punch, you know what I'm talking about. Da-da-da-da-da. Like
Yeah.
you can feel it like in your back and in your butt, and like
Sound okay?
yeah,
So like,
and like it feels like a massage chair where it's like da-da-da-da-da-da. You know, they have the misters that shoot out at you, and then like when they're like, I don't know if it was when they would do like narrow misses or like like small shots or something, like it would blast air by the side of your head and on your neck, so it was like choo, choo, choo.
and then there were also parts when they were flying too, where you would get like you know, like
You felt like lifted.
yeah, you felt like you were lifted and you were kind of going through the air. Like it was cool.
When there was energy attacks, there were strobe lights that would like pop off at the same time, and when there's like rubble crashing, there's like fog guns in the like under the screen that just shoot up like and it just goes. And
I felt like
there's a part where it's raining in the movie, and then it just starts misting down over everybody.
That's cool.
Everyone
But yeah.
splashed down.
Yeah, it was really cool, but the chairs were a little uncomfortable. As Justin said, we're not small people, and Alex is the biggest one of us, and I'm like I was feeling it tight in my thighs. You know, they're a little narrow, but they're still more comfortable than the chairs at Turlock.
Leave us alone.
Doxed.
TV for TV stuff, I'm still watching Suits. I'm in season 4 now, chugging along. I'm enjoying the drama. These characters are like assholes to each other, but it's a good show. And video games, I've continued chugging along on Live Alive since I didn't get to play last week. I actually got through 2 more chapters and a chapter, about a half a chapter, but I'm not going to talk about the one I haven't finished yet. I think I might be able to finish it next week. This week, I finished the present day chapter, which was really cool because it was like Street Fighter. It was essentially if you gave Street Fighter a story. Like, the main character was kind of like Ryu. He's training to be the best warrior in the world. And, like, there's a couple cut scenes of him working out in the gym, and then it cuts to a character select menu. And, like, there's 6 different fighters from all over the world. And the mechanic for this one is it's still top-down tactical, like, turn-based. But as your character levels up, he doesn't level up, but what he does do is as he fights, when an enemy uses an ability on him, he learns their ability. So each fight, you want to learn their moves, and then the final boss fight is
It's like
you just use everything you learned against him.
it's like a Mega Man mechanic.
Yeah, kinda. And like each, they had a guy from Russia and a guy from Japan and a guy from US, and they're clearly like imitating like certain characters in Street Fighter. It was a nice little love letter there. The other one, it was the Distant Future with Cube, my little round robot, and that one there wasn't a lot of combat, like I mentioned before, because that was one of the chapters that I started from the demo. I just basically finished it. The only combat is really the video game that's supposed to be the game from like from the past. Like, it's when you watch those futuristic movies, there's the character has like that retro game that he likes to play. But for most part, it's a kind of a love letter to sci-fi horror movies. People just start dying, and you don't really get to. There's a monster you can't fight. You have to run from it. Like, if he catches you, it's an instant game over. So it felt like Alien. Like, it was kind of like an homage to Alien a little bit, and some other sci-fi stuff. But it was really cool.
would you say like the part where you instant die is like when you're trying to get out of the Cave of Wonders in the Aladdin game from the N64?
Impossible.
Not quite.
What about the
'Cause-
Stampede from like
Stampede and the Cave of Wonders are impossible. No one's ever
Oh
beat
god,
them.
I
Don't
remember
even
the game.
lie.
We had to use a code just to get past that.
Yeah,
to
a
beat
bunch of
Aladdin.
cheaters. You had
no,
to.
no. We beat it once and then we kept the code, so that way we could skip that part.
I don't believe the lies.
That's not what I remember.
What's the code?
What?
But yeah, so that's those are the 2 chapters that I played. Looking to finish next week. I have the Near Future, which looks like it's a mech pseudo open world, which I'm wondering. I want to kind of like look at how the original game was, because like a lot of the concepts seem like ahead of their time for if this game came out in like the early 90s. Like I think that's why it holds up so well now, is just because like a lot of this stuff was ahead of its time for when it came out. So I just want to see like some of the levels, how it looked on the original compared to how it looks now. But yeah, that was pretty much my week.
All right. Yeah. So.
Oh, I kind of remember something that I did on mine that it kind of reminded me from yours.
Oh yeah, we played D&D too.
Yeah, we played that Villainous game.
Yep.
The Star Wars Villainous.
That game sucked.
I mean, I won, so it was okay.
It was the least fun I've had with any Villainous game.
That's just because you didn't. Yeah, it's the Star Wars one. It's just he didn't realize he had to like mill his deck while he was playing at the time.
Do the different decks have different rules?
Yeah.
Yeah, so each villain has like their own like objective. So like Jonathan played Moff
the
Gideon.
Dude from the guy
he
from
played Moff
Mandalorian.
Gideon. Alexis played General
Grievous.
Yeah, General Grievous, and I played Darth Vader. So like mine was just like turn Luke to the dark side, and Jonathan's was to something with Grogu. I don't know.
I had to get Grogu.
And then Alexis's was to get all the lightsabers, and they were having a lot of hard issues doing theirs, and I did mine pretty quickly. But
Yeah,
they all have like
yours was the easiest one.
well, he is Darth Vader. He's the OG man.
He shouldn't be an option.
It was just the other option was the chick from Clone Wars, whose name I don't know. Lewis probably knows.
Which one? Sasha Ventress?
Yes.
The one with the white skinned?
Yes.
Yeah, she's the other option. And Kylo Ren.
Oh, Ben.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren's a good guy.
It was like
spoilers.
I had to get Grogu. That was my objective, but like a lot of the cards are reliant on like other people doing things, and if other people aren't doing specific things, that I can't do anything. And so yeah.
It also didn't help that it was kind of slow in the beginning because they added a new feature to that game. So that's, I don't know. I felt like ambition or whatever, it would made it a little bit difficult. But
and then Alexis just like indiscriminately just screwing over everybody and still not winning.
She was killing Jedis. Leave her.
That's her job. If she's General Grievous, or yeah, you said she was General Grievous, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
That's what it is. You got to kill Jedi to get the lightsabers.
Yeah,
Yep.
she had to kill 8 Jedis and get 8 different lightsabers.
I think she had like 3.
She's swinging them all at the same time.
General Kenobi.
I didn't get anywhere close.
Remember, so yeah. Earlier you guys said that like you think Fortnite was gonna be the closest to come to like the Oasis, but there was like a new game that was coming out during the Gamescom thing that was shown. That started. It's going on in Europe. I think you guys said it was. I'm surprised
Germany.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
It's like everywhere or whatever.
Yeah, I'm surprised I've heard of Gamescom, but I never knew that it happened in Germany every year. But anyway, yeah, there was like a game called Everywhere that got shown, which looks like an attempt at the Oasis or the metaverse or whatever it's going to be called.
Mhm.
So
It kind of looks like I mean, the trailer doesn't really show much, right? It just shows like a bunch of different gameplay stuff,
mhm.
and it's
Well, I
supposed to
mean,
be like multiverse.
well, I think that's the point of it, though, right? It's like it doesn't have like a core game loop or anything like that. I don't think it does. I think it's supposed to be like I don't know if it's user created. I don't know if they said that. I've only seen like glimpses of it, but
Yeah.
you know, it I heard it get compared to Minecraft and what Roblox is the one.
I
know
was gonna say
Roblox.
I was gonna say it looks like Little Big Planet 2
Oh, that's good news for me, man. It's like
because yeah, Little Big Planet 2 was the best.
well, not just
The
the
best.
game, not just the game, but like the customization part of that. I
Yeah.
had half of the time I spent on that game was just like either customizing it or playing other people's like random creations, and I love that.
Yeah. Well, and then Media Molecule moved away from Little Big Planet because I think 3 and After were made by I don't remember who made 3, but the one that was on the PS5 was made by Sumo something. But that was just a regular platformer.
Yeah.
But they created another game called Imagine that pretty much took that game building concept and expanded it. So I'm wondering if that's what everywhere
hmm
is gonna do further, like just facilitate. You can create your own stuff and just push the boundaries of
I think
creation.
there's got to be a happy spot in it because I know with the people that made Little Big Planet, the Little Big Planets, the original ones, uh, I think they're the same people that made that Dreams for PS5, right, or
Yeah.
PlayStation.
Yeah,
And-
that's what I was talking about. Dreams.
Yeah,
Dreams.
yeah. I think you said something else, but I think I think you meant
Imagine,
Dreams.
but
Yeah, it's Dreams. But
it's
so
Dreams.
the problem I think with Dreams is I think there's like a little bit too much customization where I've
It
heard
gets daunting.
I've heard that it's like really good, but it sounds like people don't know what to get it for. You know what I mean? Because
Mm.
it's like so formless that I think people don't know what it is. Where with like Minecraft and Roblox, there's like at least you kind of know what it looks like, right? You know you're looking at Roblox or Minecraft when you see it. And so it seemed like everywhere also does that too. There's I'm trying to say that there's like a happy spot I think with like on one side it's like a super specific game loop, and then on the other side it's just like create and customize everything, right? But like people also don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what else did we see at Gamescom that interested people? I know a lot of us are fans of what they've shown for Callisto Protocol so far.
Doubling down, it's going to be a Dead Space game. It has to be.
I feel like that's like the genre that's going on. That's like really popular right now. It's not like there's like the space or the horror theme. So like they kind of showed like a couple games that kind of look like that. Who wants to play the Killer Clowns game?
That looked interesting.
Choo Choo Charles or bust, guys.
Max, did you see this game called Recreation?
But
They kind of zoned out a little bit during the during his thing.
that's
Yeah.
that's the thing though. Like a lot of the stuff they kind of showed, it's stuff you kind of already knew about, like the Harry Potter, and the Sonic, and Callisto Protocol, and I mean there were some new stuff. Like the Dune MMO looks pretty cool. I was gonna say
Yeah.
that.
Dune.
That looked pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a Dune MMO.
I did not see it.
It was,
It was like literally the first thing.
it was the thing they opened with.
Yeah, it was like the second game, I think.
Yeah. They said
Yeah.
it's going to be like a survival MMO survival game.
Yep.
hmm
I'm in.
H1Z1, here we come.
I might try that. I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of Dune.
But the one that caught my attention was just because I haven't seen the final season of the show, but I liked what I've seen of the show is Telltale's doing a game for the show, The Expanse. It's a Amazon Prime show. I'm excited for that.
Okay.
There's a
It's
couple.
a very cool world that they came up with in that show. So, and if you watch the show, it takes place like off camera during another event that's happening during the show.
Okay.
So I enjoyed the Telltale stuff just because I like being conflicted and then being miserable with the decisions that I've made.
You like life games, huh?
Yeah, I do.
I feel like one of the better games that they showed was the Goat Simulator 3, just because that game looks ridiculous. Like, I remember watching this thing, and I'm like halfway through, and then the Goat Simulator comes out, and I was like, I think we could play that and have some stupid fun with it. But
Those look fun.
I said this after the Games Fest that like I haven't played a Goat Simulator, but the trailer that they showed during the Summer Games Fest was so freaking funny. I was like, you at least have earned me a play. You have earned a play from me. I'm gonna try to play it. So yeah, I am interested too.
well, they had a new trailer / gameplay. You know how that is in Gamescom. So it was it looked funny.
Is there anything else coming up from Gamescom that we're expecting? I know it's like a week-long event or almost week-long event.
Yeah, well, I had looked at their schedule last night, and it didn't seem like they were going to have a whole lot. But Jonathan said he saw some stuff, I guess, online. I know they were doing the Xbox thing today, which was, I think it was just them like wandering around the show floor in the Xbox section for the demos and stuff that they had.
Okay,
and then they had some panel thing for the future games or something like that. But I didn't watch that today. I only watched the 2-hour thing yesterday. Jeff Keighley bores me.
Yeah, I don't trust that dude on stage anymore after Summer Games Fest.
His thing is like repeat.
Very repetitive.
He stands there with his mic. He says, "This is a new game from a studio that I love." Then they'll show the trailer, and then he'll say that he's very excited to play it. Then he'll announce the next game from another studio that he loves. He'll show the trailer. Then he says that he's excited to try it out. And then he says that, and then there's going to be another studio that he loves. And then they're going to show that trailer.
I was was just about to say that everything's a world premiere.
Yeah, it's all world premieres, and I'm like, dude, like, say something. Like, it's just like a repeated script. Like, he only like memorized like 5 lines, and then on his like teleprompter in parentheses they have the name of whatever studio he's talking about for the current game, and then he just reads off.
He loves all the studios. He loves all of the gaming studios.
You're making it sound you're making it sound like his script got written by like Dave Benioff and David Wiseman or whatever their names are.
DB Weiss, I think.
DB Weiss, yeah.
Yeah. But like the only time he seemed to go off script, and he's like, "Oh, here's my friend Hideo Kojima," and then they showed his little video for his podcast that he's starting. And then after that was over, and he's like, "It's great to see him." And now a game from a studio that I really love, and then it picked it right back up where the fucking left off the previous game. I'm like,
world
dude,
premiere.
Yeah, and I'm like, just stop, do something else. Like I was telling you guys off mic, like to me, there's now no difference between Summer's Games Fest, Gamescom, and the Game Awards. Like it's just that dude standing on stage with his mic talking about a game studio that he loves, and then a world premiere trailer.
As long as he's doing it, there's not going to be any difference. That's why I think when we talked about Summer Games Fest, I was like, before it happened, I was like, oh yeah, you know, E3 is probably not coming back. After, I was like, they have to come back. Like, this current format that we have is no good. It's boring. We need, you know, it needs to be spaced out. 2 hours is too long for that. Like if they're doing multiple days, there's no reason why he couldn't do.
Yeah.
Maybe 30-minute segments through the whole week. Or something.
Yeah. Then it got awkward for a couple times because he came out and he's like, "Who remembers playing this as a kid?" And then it was like dead silent.
Wasn't it like Monkey
it was
Island
like two guys were like,
it was like 2 or 3 games that he came out and he's like, "Oh, who remembers playing this?" And then silence. And I feel like at certain points they like, I don't know, filtered in or edited in like applause and cheering, because it took a few seconds for everyone to all of a sudden be like, ah.
Oh,
I
I don't.
mean, there's
No.
not a lot of new stuff either. It's a lot of stuff that's already been announced.
Yeah, I kind of said that when you kind of disconnected. But there was, I just kind of remembered the Gotham Knights game that I was kind of excited for, and then they kind of pushed back. But now it's coming back sooner, which I'm
Mhm.
kind
But
of excited for because I want to play.
People are
Yeah.
worried about that game.
Are
they
they?
showed a lot of new
Why?
stuff for that too. A lot more,
Yeah,
more
I'm
villains.
I'm curious if it's going to be like a GTA.
Hmm.
What was the recent one? 5?
Yeah.
Recent,
Grand Theft Auto.
recent
The
one.
12-year-old
Whatever
one.
the recent is, the one from 10 years ago that's been on every console.
I was
PS3.
gonna say
I
recent
mean,
15 years
But
ago.
yeah, but the like that one, the story, you play different characters at different times in the story.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that's what they're gonna do for this game, or if it's gonna be like you can just pick one person and just do the whole thing with them. It would be cool if you could alternate characters in the story,
That
but
would
that
be a
would
good
probably
idea.
that would make a pretty long game though.
Oh yeah,
uh,
4
uh,
characters.
and you know, every time they show Sonic Frontier since it was originally announced, it's looked better and better. And we talked about Sonic earlier this year when that first announced. IGN had their first hands-on look or whatever, where they were exclusive, and they just showed off like really bad game footage. And then since Summer Games Fest, they showed a little bit, and now they showed another game trailer, and it actually looks really good.
Maybe it was like the same thing with the movie where the fans bullied them into making it better.
to
And then it
doing
just-
Well,
better.
no, because
Yeah.
I know the fans were like really worried, and they're like, "Hey, you guys should delay this, like delay it and make it better because it doesn't look good."
Mhm.
And they're like, "Nah, we're not delaying it. It's coming out."
Fans
But
don't know what they're talking about.
I think the footage they gave IGN was like early game footage, because like the stuff they're showing doesn't look anything like what IGN had on their first look, but it
There-
looks good.
There was a thing I seen on Twitter was it put two of the levels against next to each other from what they were showing, and it was like the classic Sonic level that everybody knows, like the first level with the grass and like all
Green
that,
Hills?
right?
Emerald Hills.
Yeah. So there was that one, and then there was another one that looked like an industrial, but they're like, look, they just do the same exact level and they just reskinned it, and they put them right side by side, and someone's like, I don't know about this, guys. So maybe that's what they did for a lot of their levels, but we'll see.
Well, I mean, yeah, people call that lazy, but if they can get away with it, I call it genius. Because like,
I mean, it's not all entirely the same. They still had to rebuild it.
it saves
It's-
development hours.
But like the way that it looks like is, it kind of looks less like Breath of the Wild and more like Mario 64, and that there's going to be like a hub world, and then you're going to jump to other levels that's going to take you to different environments, which isn't a bad idea.
Yeah, I thought it looked okay.
It's
It was-
crazy that you bring
yeah.
up like reused assets. It's like it's crazy how like, because I'm in like a game developer feed community, I
Chat.
guess, on Twitter, and like people like to point out like in praise, not in criticism, but like they'll take pictures of like, I don't know, Yoshi games on the old game like handheld consoles,
Yeah.
and you'll see like a bush and a cloud that are like the exact same sprite asset, pixels, but one's colored green and one's colored white to make it look like the cloud, right? So it's like, but like you don't notice that though, right? It's like it's just genius, and they just like, I don't know, save, I don't know, time, space on the console and everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
what that
think-
reminded me of.
I think in that aspect, there's I mean, we see a lot of creativity in the games now, but they had to be creative in different ways in those old consoles because of restrictions. You had to really think outside the box, so that way you could push limitations.
Was there anything that you saw, Lewis, that you liked or thought was cool?
That new Tales for the Borderlands. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't think it's going to be like a tie-in, like a straight tie-in from like the first one, the Telltale one, but it's obviously in the same universe. And I did notice that like I had one of the characters from the first one in it, so I don't know how crazy it's gonna be to that one because I think that one was like my favorite Telltale game over like Walking Dead probably.
Oh
Because
wait,
like The
so,
Walking Dead. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
so I was just gonna ask, like, catch me up. Like, so Tales of the Borderland is like a Telltale game in the Borderlands universe, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
it's like all canon. Yeah.
Okay, and so this next one, who's making it then?
it was-
Telltale,
yeah,
right?
Gearbox and I think it's Telltale.
I thought Telltale closed down.
They
Or it might be someone
they were
else.
reborn.
Really? They're
Yep.
the Phoenix Studio.
Because aren't
Yeah,
they doing
because
that Expanse, right?
they're the ones doing the Expanse game that I
Wow.
was talking about earlier.
Is there 2 or 3 Tales games?
One? I think, isn't there?
For Borderlands.
Yeah.
There was the
Yeah, that's
Borderlands.
one.
No, I'm saying like that they announced that they talked
Oh,
about. This
it was those two,
just those two?
the Borderlands and the Expanse game. Yeah.
I had no idea. I thought they were just gone. That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
were.
Yeah,
They were.
I gave them $20 and they started back up.
It's like you and Alvaro. Alvaro funds harmonics, and you
Yeah,
fund,
dude, I
Telltale.
love all their stuff. I think the only one I haven't done was the final
Yeah.
season of Walking Dead that they did. I bought it and it's on the fucking
I think-
PlayStation, but
I
I haven't
think-
actually played it yet.
I think
That's
that one was made by somebody else though.
That's messed up. It was that their way of just doing like massive layoffs without and still having like a good public image or something?
No, I don't think it's the same people.
Oh,
That's not.
huh?
I'm not entirely sure, but I think someone like just bought the rights. Telltale Games. Let's look it up. Let's look it up.
I see you guys typing. I'm like, yes, please.
Yeah,
Please
live
look it up.
live research, live research.
While you guys are looking that up, like I don't know if you
Mhm.
guys seen that there's a game where you can move people, and that sounds like a terrible game. Like
What do you mean
What?
move
Do you
people?
move people?
no, like there's a game. It was called Moving Out To. Like what you do is you help people move,
Oh,
and I hate.
Oh yeah, I was
I-
gonna say something about that. Yeah.
Like I never played the first one, and I imagine it kind of looks like all those like classic like Cookie Mama type, not Cookie Mama type of game, like
It's-
those
no,
Diner
it's-
Dash kind of games, right?
It's kind of like the one that we were playing like for a little bit, a lot earlier this year.
The cooking one,
Yeah,
Overcooked.
Overcooked. Yeah, it's like Overcooked, but like moving furniture.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Oh yeah, I do remember seeing that.
that
I
sounds like a
think
good
actually-
game. I don't know.
I think I actually have it, like the first one, on Amazon Prime. Like I think that was one of the games I gave for free a little while ago.
I just remember seeing it, and I'm like, moving in real life sucks. Why would I want to do it virtually? Like,
I think you'd be surprised.
I mean, but then again, like I hate farming, but I do love me some Stardew Valley. So I guess never mind. I retract my statement.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. There's a power washing simulator on Game Pass.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys heard about that
Mhm.
game, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super
so-
popular.
Yeah, podcast I listen to, the dude, he says when he's stressed out, he puts that on and he just pretty much just like hosts shit off, and
Yeah.
he's like, it's so soothing and so calming.
Yeah. Wouldn't want to do it in real life.
No.
In a video game spot.
So
and Telltale got bought out by some company called
LCG.
LCG Studios.
Yeah,
Or, sorry, LCG Entertainment.
yeah. I was just about to say, but you said
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and I forgot that they had announced Wolf Among Us 2, which I haven't seen anything for that yet.
No,
The first one's very good. First one's really good.
Oh, I think that was the one that people were like worried about when they shut down, right? Because I think that was the game that people were anticipating, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope this new crew is the same because all the original stuff was very good.
Yeah, it looks like the founders. I mean, it's LCG Entertainment, but founders, 2 different people. Like the original founders for Telltale was like 4 other people. They bought them in October of 2018, or that's when the original shut down, and then they bought them and then rebranded the company in August 2019 as Telltale Games. So they've only really been going for a couple years, really.
Well, I hope it's good.
We can
There-
only hope.
There was this game called Moonbreaker. I don't know if you guys saw it.
I did. That was another one on my list too.
For like miniatures, and
Yeah.
like how you can paint miniatures.
Oh, that one, yeah.
And I remember watching it and thinking, this would be the coolest thing is if you can paint and like make your own miniatures, and then that you would be able to have the 3D like model to be able to print it in real life. And I was waiting for them to say, "Oh, and then you can print your own miniatures," and they didn't, and it made me kind of sad. And I was like, this would just be like the coolest thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you have a 3D printer, which not saying most people do, but a lot of people have 3D printers nowadays, right? So
Yeah.
you can use those to print like cool things that you've colored, and I don't know. I saw that and I was like, "Oh, this would be cool," and then they didn't say that, and then I lost interest on the game.
Well, it's a top-down tactical RPG, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they look like miniatures on a tabletop.
That sounds cool. How many players is that?
I don't think it
I would
shows.
say
I
They're
feel
like
like
1v1.
that,
goes into early access September 29th of this year. So
I feel like if that's like a multiplayer game with like more than I would say like more than 2 people, I would say if it was like 4-person multiplayer and up, I would say that'd be pretty fun to play amongst the last time online crew.
it does look really cool though. Like it's a sci-fi game. It's not like Dungeons and Dragons where it's like medieval stuff. But when like I'm kind of like rewatching this trailer.
It's like closer to Warhammer, right?
When yeah, it kind of and when enemies die, like the miniatures shatter and explode.
No. all my work. I painted this for an hour.
Yeah.
No, well, like when they were kind of doing the whole miniatures thing, like the guy's like, "Oh, well," he's like, "When COVID happened, like I just went and started painting and found what is it? Like, kind of like the pressure washing thing, right? He found soothness in it. He's like, and that's what we felt like we wanted to do here. And like I said, it looks like a cool idea, but I would want to print mine, but that would just be me.
Like we can call it miniatures, but let's call it what it is. It's actually 3D modeling, because
Yeah.
like they when it's in the game they look like minifigs, but like they show the clip of it actual like the customization, and it looks like you would like what is it blend? No, not Blender. I don't remember the name of the 3D program that was used for modeling.
Blender does do 3D modeling.
Oh, ZBrush. It looks like ZBrush kind of, but it's painting. I don't know if you can actually like sculpt your minis too, or if it's strictly painting, but it does look really cool, and I like the vibrant colors.
Yeah, they made it so you can kind of give details and stuff to it too. So
Did you guys see Where the Wind Meets?
Yeah.
is that the samurai game?
Yeah.
No. I thought it was like Ghost of Tsushima for a second.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it did. It looked like Ghost of Tsushima.
When I woke up, it looked like Ghost of Tsushima.
Like DLC.
It looks darker though. It doesn't look as vibrant as Ghost of Tsushima,
Yeah.
but it still looks cool.
I like the aesthetic of it.
I did get excited for a moment for the. Let me see if I can find the name of the game real quick. Under the Waves.
Oh yeah, I seen
Yeah,
that one.
just because I saw Quantic Dream's name stamped all over it, so I thought it was going to be
Oh.
No, they're. I don't know how it works. I guess they're like a co-sponsor or something. Like they're not
Oh.
the ones actually making the game.
Mhm.
So I lost interest after I found that out because I like their stuff too.
Well, it just looked like you were in the ocean looking at fish.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe you'll make decisions on which animals to save and what goes extinct. Seems like their shit gets super depressing to that point where you can extinct a whole species by a choice.
The ocean, it's so deep
Yeah.
and vast.
Yeah,
It's
just
so crushing.
Yeah, it just reminded me of like I don't know if you guys know who Werner Herzog is. He's just he does a lot of like dramatic documentaries, but he's a German guy, so everything he says sounds super dramatic. He popped up in Parks and Rec when April and Andy are trying to find an apartment to live in, and he's the guy who says that he likes being close to Disneyland. But he's like he's that very super serious German looking guy. That's him.
Okay.
But yeah, anytime he makes a movie or something, it's always about like the despair of the human spirit and all kinds of stuff. So I kind of thought of that one after I found out that Quantic Dream wasn't actually making that game.
Quantic. What other games does Quantic Dream make? I'm not.
Heavy Rain.
Heavy Rain,
Oh,
Beyond
there's
Two
Detroit.
Souls,
Okay,
and then
they're
yeah,
very
Detroit.
popular. They're very
Yeah, and then
popular.
I think they're working on a Star Wars game right now.
Yeah,
I
I've
think
heard
they're the
that
ones
too.
doing
With the Eclipse?
Eclipse. Is that what it's called?
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah.
They're the only studio that's gonna get me to probably buy a Star Wars game.
Do you not like Star Wars, Jonathan?
Mm.
No, it's because every other Star Wars game is EA right now. Oh wait, I got what you did.
Yeah.
I get what you
There was
did.
that. There was that other game, Friends versus Friends. Did you see that one?
That one looked weird.
It was
I don't-
like a colorful
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
first person shooter, but it was like card based first person shooter.
Yeah, it was a little. I wasn't sure how I felt about it. Like I remember seeing it, and I was just like, "This is a very aggressive trailer," because it was just one song, and they were like shooting each other and stuff. I'm like,
It was like cartoony, like Adventure Time, but then they just all start shooting each other. I kind of wish that the actual gameplay was like the hand-drawn style instead of it's like it kind of looks like Borderlands
Okay.
where it's the cell shade painted 3D modeling. But it still looks good.
Why did-
Yeah, like
yeah.
to me, it's hard to see what's going to be good because like all the other shows I mentioned earlier, like all they showed were like cinematic trailers to most of the stuff. I haven't actually seen what the stuff's going to look like gameplay wise.
Yeah,
PlayStation
that's
show
kind of in
anything?
they showed the controller.
they
oh,
showed
that's it.
gameplay.
they're
They showed
saving their-
gameplay for that Rick and Morty game.
High on Life.
Yeah, but that wasn't
Is it?
PlayStation, was it? I thought that's exclusive to Xbox.
Yeah, I think they said it was going to be like a day one Game Pass game.
It's a day one Game Pass game, but does that mean it's going to be exclusive or?
I don't know,
Oh yeah, it is exclusive to
but
Xbox.
that's kind of one of those things we were talking about the whole like exclusivity thing,
Mm-hmm.
where I think that's what Microsoft is gonna do with Call of Duty. Like
They'll
they'll leave it
say-
multiplayer, they'll leave it multi-console, but they're gonna be heavily advertising it for
Oh.
Xbox only, and then
For
it'll
sure.
just happen to be on other stuff. And if they ever decide to take it exclusive, it'll be when 3 or 4 years down the line when people are playing it more on Xbox than they are on other things.
For sure, yeah. That did they show the High on Life game at Gamescom?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they showed a
they
boss
showed-
fight.
I
Yeah,
seen
like
I
boss
seen
fight,
High
yeah.
on Life. I didn't talk about it because I already want to play it.
You want to
So-
spoil it? Yeah.
I kind of wanted to play it when they showed it at the Games Fest, and I'm now more interested in it. The more like it's kind of like marinated in my head because it's an actually interesting new game that is coming out that I was like trying to think of, like there hasn't been like really big new shooter games I guess that have come out recently. And then I was like, wait a second, High on Life is going to be a new shooter game that I could try out. And when I say new shooter, I mean like a new franchise, not like a new game.
Mhm.
You know?
Isn't that the like Rick and Morty game?
Yeah,
Yeah,
creator.
Squanch,
Yeah, okay.
Squanch Games.
It's called.
I
the
just
Rick and
recognize
Morty-
I just recognize the voices, so I don't know if I don't think it's Rick and Morty, but it's like
Yeah.
I think the same group of people.
It's
I
not.
think they
It's not
advertise
coming
it
out
as-
on. It's not coming out on PlayStation. It's going to be on Steam and Epic Store.
Unfortunate.
I mean, I might.
I mean, it
might
really
give it a
doesn't-
crack on Steam.
It really doesn't matter if I don't know if it's a multiplayer game. If it's not a multiplayer game, I don't see why it matters like what console it's on.
No.
But for multiplayer games though, that's when I think it matters like what, like if it's cross platform or not and cross play, you know, because that's when you have to like really make decisions on like where I'm gonna buy it.
The only thing with games like this where it's like console and PC, like if I didn't really think about it until I just seen my motherboard was 2016, but now I have to start wondering, can my computer handle these games? And so that's why most of the time I'm gonna like, if I want to get them, then I will get on console because I don't have to worry about spec issues.
Yeah.
But hopefully, I mean, it doesn't look like it's too taxing, but who knows?
I don't know. That game actually does like hella good
It
in its own way.
looks good, and I have a GTX 1060, so my graphics card's pretty old.
Yikes.
Okay.
And it's not technically a Rick and Morty game, but I think in the advertisement or the trailer they said like from the creators of Rick and Morty though. So
Yeah,
I think they
Rick
So
and
same type
Morty
of humor.
and Solar Opposites,
yeah.
which is a show that not a lot of people watch.
I don't think
Yeah.
that show's good.
I've seen the clip or the memes where there's like the aliens that the show is revolved around, and then there's like a subplot where one of the characters owns like a mini world where he like shrinks humans down and like collects them. And so like there's a whole subplot of like these humans in that little tiny world, and that is more interesting than the rest of the show as a whole, apparently. But I don't know exactly how much Tiny World is in Solar Opposites.
Was there anything else that stood out for Gamescom? To you guys?
Park Beyond.
I was gonna say the Roller Coaster Tycoon game.
Yep.
Oh.
I feel like me and Justin's list is very similar. Because he's mentioned almost every.
Were you guys?
Oh,
hooked
I
on
didn't. We
Roller
didn't.
Coaster
We didn't
Tycoon?
collaborate on it.
Nope.
He just mentioned all the games that I was gonna mention.
Well,
Sure.
I was gonna ask like who else was like hooked on Roller Coaster Tycoon back in the
The
day?
original, yeah.
Yeah, mostly the original for me too. Yeah.
Here and there.
Did you guys ever play Planet Coaster though?
I tried.
That shit was cool too.
I heard that was good.
It was. It was very good.
It's just good when you charge $60 for a corn dog.
Yeah, I'm old, so my tycoon game was Dino Park Tycoon on the
Wow.
on the Apple Mac.
Back when you can pay janitors $7 an hour.
Yeah.
Hey Max, I think you would like that Jurassic World. What's that? The park game? I forgot what it's called.
Oh, Evolution, right?
Evolution. Yeah, that
Yeah.
one. The second one, I played that one. It's good. It's real good.
I can't be trusted.
I think I told you that Jeff
We'll
Goldblum's
release
in that game.
all the dinosaurs.
No, back then I remember I tried to be a penny pincher and like my fences were made of wood. So
There's no wood in this one.
so like most of the dinosaurs after a certain point
Got
just
loose.
escaped and ran amok around my park. It turned into
Well,
Jurassic Park or probably Jurassic World. That one had more death and more people running around.
you've
yeah, that
obviously
happens a lot.
seen Jurassic Park the movies because the dinosaurs get out anyway, right?
Yeah.
So it's like why even spend money on these big fences?
And this actually was about that time because I think it was like what 93 I think is when Jurassic Park came out.
Mhm.
And I figured if the electric fences didn't work, wood fences. And guess what? Same outcome.
Yeah.
Don't make dinosaurs.
So you're saying if there was a dino park now, you wouldn't go to it?
No, hell no. There's plenty of examples of why not to go.
I'm sure if that
Yeah.
really happened, that's gonna be like all over Reddit, right? Like Reddit's gonna be like they didn't listen.
Yeah.
we gave them 6 movies to
Yeah.
review first.
I like my gut instinct is to think that there's no way that could possibly be a successful park. But on the other hand, people are dumb, and they're gonna go.
Why wouldn't
Yeah.
it be a successful park? I feel like they could charge like hella money for the tickets for that park, and people are willing to spend like a lot of money at Disney. So I'm like, I don't know, they'll make it work.
It'd be a one-way trip for a lot of people. Make sure it's expensive.
Hey, just think they'll never have to feed the dinosaurs. Hey.
Hey.
Oh.
Yeah, I never got too much into the roller coaster tycoon games.
Mhm.
I remember the first or second one I played for a little bit, but after that, like my shit kept breaking down. I remember one I thought it would be funny just to like create half of a roller coaster and then.
I think that's.
Launch them.
I was about to say that. Like I like at some point I just get bored enough where I just like see how far I can launch the customers, you know,
Yeah.
and that's the end of my game. That's the end of my part.
Yeah, and apparently when you launch
Terrible.
customers all around the place, then that lowers future attendance. So my park just went to shit, and I got tired of it.
And then you just gotta restart.
No, I just got tired of it, and I moved on. Yeah, quit, sold the park.
Just rage quit.
Yeah,
What about this Dead Island 2 game that just kind of started getting popular on Twitter? I think. I love.
Yeah.
I'll
Play
say
the
it
first
again.
one.
I'll say it again. I love the title of the game. You know, welcome to Hell A.
The LA.
Yeah, that's a California
think
thing
you-
for those that don't know it.
yeah. I think you came up with like an added reason because I'm pretty sure that they only thought of hell
Uh-huh.
and LA together. I don't think they thought of the one that you said earlier.
No, they had to have. Right?
I don't believe it.
Okay. Well, yeah, because it for the ones that are listening that don't know what we're talking about, like the title of the game is like Dead Island 2, Welcome to Hell A, but like spelled out it's like Hella, which is like a California slang term, which is like
California vernacular.
That's
yes,
hella tight.
it's hella tight. Hella games.
I'm so old.
Out here in
Well,
the
that's
bay,
it.
10 toes down.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Hell A.
Yeah, but I just like the cinematics of it. Like Lewis, what kind of game is this? Since you played the first one, is it like a
It's like a first person. It's a little bit similar to like
a Dead Rising
Borderlands?
game? Or
it's like a Borderlands kind of
Borderlands?
game.
Okay.
You do missions, you collect stuff, you craft. You have like a talent tree
Mm-hmm.
to like choose your specialization.
Mm-hmm.
I think they said they kind of wanted you to like do whatever you want to do in this one, from what like I remember hearing. So like you can kind of like choose different characters to like kind of like play as like preset characters. So there's like no customizations, but you can customize like your weapons. I think.
Like a Watch
It's like
Dogs
a-
Legion kind of thing.
I think
think so.
Dead Rising was probably the closest.
So it's a little bit like RPG style too.
Okay.
Because I remember, I don't know if how similar Dead Island 2 is to Dead Island 1.
Yeah. It's been a while since I played it.
You guys.
There's two.
Speaking of, you just reminded me. I was going to talk about this when we were talking about the Callisto Protocol. But somebody here said that it seems like it's like a theme that they're doing, like the alien horror in space theme stuff with that game.
Mm.
But when I was watching the gameplay too, I was like, I was also getting like the feeling like they're kind of also going after the theme of just like a stealth RPG crafting shooter survival game, right? Because that like seems like a theme too. Like, I mean, I don't know where it started, but I started noticing the similarities in like The Last of Us and Horizon Zero Dawn, or the Horizon series, I guess you could say now, and probably this game too. I mean, you pick stuff up, you craft, you do stealth stuff, and you can do melee action stuff too, but that's like much harder, and they want you to do stealth, you know. So I'm starting to see like a lot of similarities, and I think that's like just like a popular style now of game
Yeah.
where they force you to do stealth. I guess kind of. I just recently played Watch Dogs 2, and I guess it's like similar to that too. It's like you
Yeah,
can run and
sure.
gun, but like they really prefer if you stealth because it's much easier if you do it that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They're easier if you do that, but where's the fun in
Yeah.
just sneaking around everywhere? It's a video game. Run up and start blowing things up and punch people in the face.
I
That's
agree with
okay.
you, but oh, go ahead.
I mean, there is a satisfaction to it if they do the animations correctly.
I was gonna say that's exactly how I play Infamous. Blow everything up.
Oh, yeah.
Blow everything up.
Well, Infamous isn't a stealth game though. Why would?
Yeah,
that's
but
No, but you can.
you can be stealthy and you could not like blow people up. But I went with I have lightning for hands. Why would I walk around and just be like, oh, Sith little one, when I could just blow cars up? You know what I mean?
Well, because I
Because
remember.
Doesn't that make you a villain?
Yeah, I was
Can you
gonna
do that
say.
stuff?
Honestly, if I had powers in real life, I'd be a villain. So,
Mhm.
Oh
because
man,
being a hero sucks.
I want to see what kind of vigilante shows up when Justin's a villain in underwear.
Oh, I've already said any like I mean I guess it depends on what power I have, but any person that I see that has powers, ending.
Ending, not
So
even taking a chance.
Ending.
No questions asked.
No questions asked. Baby, ending. Anything, ending. So I can't be stopped.
Straight death. Murderer.
Straight death. But yeah.
Yeah. When I was playing, yeah, I don't think I have that much fun playing stealth style in games anymore. Unless it's like the harder version of it, right? Like in Assassin's Creed, like, that was like one of the first games that I remember that had like the stealth, but you could also like cut everyone up too. But that game, like, cutting people up was like almost easier than playing stealth in that game. So, because you would just like button mash until you saw like the little flash, like someone's gonna shoot at you, and then you just press a button, and then you do a cool trick.
Yeah, like I don't mind like stealth missions in games, but if the whole game is dependent on you and doing stealth, then that's where I'm kind of like, is that? I mean, that's not really for me, but yeah, I don't mind doing stealth every once in a while.
Yeah, I think maybe that's why The Last of Us, the gameplay anyway, got kind of repetitive for me. Good game. I'm not trashing it, but the gameplay itself got repetitive for me.
Trash game ruined a franchise.
Yeah. But anyway, going back to Callisto Protocol, I think that's what it seems like. It seems like another, like Justin said, I think it was Justin, like another alien space game, and I'm saying another stealth RPG game.
I'm just gonna start calling that Dead Space 3.5.
Yeah.
Because I know it's gonna be somehow connected to Dead Space. It has to be. It looks exactly the same. It has to be. I mean, he even had like the telekinesis power where you could like pick things up and throw them.
I mean, it could also be just like him saving development resources.
By doing what he knows.
Yeah, by just doing what he knows. People are getting by. Yeah.
Whatever. I'll still get it. I'll still play it. But
it looks cool. I'm not trying to take away from it. It does look very cool. And I've never finished a Dead Space game. I can't remember which one I started, but I have played. I think I played the first two a little bit, but.
Oh no! You can replay it in January. Is that when the remake comes out? January.
Oh, there's a remake. Oh, right. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember it looked hella good too. Forgot about that.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Well. Hella. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. Anything else from Gamescom that anybody saw? I actually want to hear about this Dune survival MMO.
They didn't really show much, dude.
It was just a trailer.
Yeah, it was just like a cinematic of the dude like standing in the desert, and then he like runs up. One of the sandworms is coming out, and then I think he's like climbing it or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Cool. Maybe
some people were disappointed.
Part 2.
MMOs take so long to come out. So if they barely just announced like that, then 2026 maybe. Hopefully you can play it then.
No, it'll be in beta next year, and then it'll be in beta for like 3 years.
I already signed up for the beta.
Oh, okay.
I know some people were like disappointed when they found out the genre of the game, that it was a survival MMO. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. So what do you guys
I don't know if it was
when you think of survival MMO though, because that sounds like
it's very different. I don't know what that even means.
I think of like H1Z1, like
or
kind
Rust?
of game.
But that's not an MMO.
Okay.
That's not an MMO though. That's
But I think of that type of game.
I think
Like I
it's,
think of that
That's
type
the
of
Ark.
like yeah.
it's a 1v1 though for H1Z1, right? Like, or I don't know how many together. How many people could be playing at the same time for H1Z1?
It's a server game.
1,000.
It just depends on how many people are on the server. I don't know. I stopped playing.
Oh,
that game.
okay. Oh, so maybe maybe it is like that, but
Yeah.
with monsters.
yeah,
With sand.
sounds interesting.
Yeah, like that was one of those. Like I was saying, like all they showed was the cinematic, so I have no idea what the actual game looks like or any of that.
Fair.
World premiere.
Yeah, I guess
World
I
premiere.
just heard Dune. I heard the keywords and I was like
Dune.
interested. I heard Dune, I heard MMO, and I heard survival. Right, so I was like, oh, interesting. But yeah,
I think we went more into depth in these games than Jeff Keighley did.
yeah.
Hey, but
They
he's
showed
those are
25
his
minutes of
favorite
gameplay
games.
footage though.
They showed
Altogether?
25 minutes.
All together.
There's a couple of games that had I don't know if it was during or after the fact.
I was gonna say the only one I remember is that Rick and Morty creator one, and then they showed like 40 seconds of what was the zombie one, the Dead Island? Is that what you said it was called?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Dead
they
Island.
showed that. That's how they closed the show yesterday. They said it was gameplay, but it just almost looked like another cinematic. But maybe that's how good the game looks. But and then they showed a behind the scenes of the gameplay for the Expanse game. But other than that, I don't really remember too much other gameplay. I don't remember 25 minutes out of 2 hours.
I think there was a lot of games they showed gameplay after the fact. I don't think they actually showed during
Oh.
that. But like I said, I didn't watch that because
You should watch it. It's really good.
fool me once, shame on me.
I think-
Shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
I
And
know
I was not going to be fooled twice.
I know we probably don't like it, but I think a lot of people are gonna like that Liza P game
Oh,
because
yeah.
it looks like
How
pretty
much Pinocchio can we have at one time? Seriously.
honestly that just looks like fucking Elden Ring, dude. Like that's what it looks like.
Elden Ring Pinocchio?
Elden Ring Pinocchio. Because if you've watched the gameplay for it, like the stuff that's in Elden Ring, you know, like the bottom left corner with the inventory, it looks exactly the same. Like you might have to go and watch it after here. After this,
I think they said it was gonna be like a Souls game or like a Bloodborne game. Like you're just gonna die all the time.
Yeah, I heard Souls like, yeah, prepare to die.
I'm sure there will be more to talk about as the week goes because as of recording, it's only Wednesday and Gamescom goes all the way to Sunday.
Will
I know
there
tomorrow-
though? It sounded like
I
they
mean,
blew their load already.
It may be. It depends on how many other conferences. I don't know if there's going to be anything worth, how much there's going to be worth. But I know tomorrow Nintendo has a treehouse and they're showing gameplay footage of Splatoon 3 and Harvestella, which is
Harvestella, goddamn.
the Final Fantasy Stardew Valley game made by Square.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all I saw was like 4 things on the schedule, and 2 of them were today.
Well, they have. I don't know if there's specifically like actual conferences, because like IGN just says, and this might just be their coverage of Gamescom, but they have like lists of games.
Yeah, because like the Xbox booth one is actually tomorrow.
Yeah, so that's
Wasn't
game
today.
day
And
2,
then
Thursday, 25th.
The awesome indie show on Friday.
expect to see Wake Out of Twilight on there, yeah.
Company of Heroes 3.
About that. Yeah.
Spoilers.
Spoilers: George is actually in Germany.
Yeah.
I do
making
think you
music
should
for the
watch
game right
that recreation game, Max, because it reminds me of what's the racing game that was on the PS3 that we like to talk about?
Gran Turismo.
No.
Oh, Split Second?
Yeah, it looks like Split Second juiced up.
Juice. What? You can't juice up what's already been juiced up.
Because it looks like you can create your own shit too.
It's split second on Four Loco.
Oh, where's Jesus?
They have a PS5 trailer, and it looks like Split Second and Burnout mixed together.
What's the name of the game?
Recreation, but it's spelled rec. Like WRECK.
Oh, that kind of art rec.
Yeah, it looks like there's like a really robust like creation system, and then like holy, I now remember when we started rewatching this trailer, and I had it playing when George started at the beginning, and when I said holy shit, because it was the giant roller coaster track looking thing. It looks like it's really fun.
I'll check this out once we're done. I'll see if it's worth the hype that you're putting behind it already.
It looks, I mean, that's a giant skate ramp. And it looks like some of the roller coasters that you said that you made in your Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Only half made.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Half made. Oh no.
Excellent.
I would have made more, but there's a cap on how high you can make stuff. So.
And I also ran out of money.
Turbo.
This is why you charge $60 for corn dogs.
You guys hear about that new shooter that's developed by like a ex-Battlefield person? It's called The Finals.
Yeah, they didn't show anything though. Like it was just like
that's one of
quick,
I forgot.
Yeah, it was just like a quick like announcement trailer. Like it didn't show
that.
anything. It was like a game show shooter or something like that.
Yeah.
I thought it was like an advertisement for like a first-person shooter, like Worlds or something. You know, like I was like, oh, it's just some like e-sport thing they're advertising for. I didn't think it was a game.
What do you mean
it's
by
called
game
The Finals.
show? What do you mean by game show shooter?
They didn't say. Like it just said that it's like a shooter revolved around a game show.
Yeah, it's called. Is it Race to the Finals?
Interesting.
The Finals.
I'm having a hard time grasping what you guys mean by game show shooter, because when I hear game show shooter, I think of like Joaquin Phoenix in the Joker.
Oh, not that kind of.
Yeah.
No, like
I guess it wasn't a game show, just a talk show.
Yeah, like anywho, it just sounded like it's gonna be like the story is that you're in a game show and that it's just a shooter.
Oh. Okay.
Distraction focused PvP studio. Shooter, sorry, PvP shooter.
I wonder if that's like their way of making it more, like, how do you say it?
Like Battlefield, like the actual good game that we used to play.
No. Like more viable for esports, you know? Because like I don't know if you know, but like one of the things that Valorant intentionally did to separate themselves from Counter-Strike is that in Counter-Strike, in Counter-Strike they use the word terrorists, counter-terrorists, bomb, and that is like technically like they're trying to. I don't know who's trying to get them to stop, but I think esports doesn't like the fact that they use those words, And I think that causes them to like need their own. I don't know. There's probably gonna be some like nerds out there that like can easily correct me. So I don't want to say too much, but I think that Valorant intentionally used like attackers, defenders instead of terrorists and counter-terrorists, and they don't even call it a bomb; they call it a spike, right? And so, I don't think they say like killed or I don't think they technically say killed when they cover it either. They say like eliminated to make it more like accessible to like all the viewers that might be watching it in esports. So when you say game show shooter, I wonder if that's like their loophole to get around like saying killed, and they can say like eliminated or something for some kind of to make it more PG, I guess.
Yeah,
the teaser looks a lot more colorful than the announcement trailer.
Yeah, It's just one of the ones they didn't actually show anything for. It was like, hey, this is the thing. Here's some colors and some animation.
I have an announcement teaser trailer right now. It's about 3 minutes. It looks pretty good, but it's a trailer. It's not gameplay, so
Yeah, I'm gonna want to watch that. If it looks halfway decent, I'm gonna get you guys to play it. I'm gonna get all of us to play it. So, yeah.
It was one of the world premieres from last night.
Wow.
Wait,
Yeah.
is this?
You're making it sound like Jeff
I don't
Keighley can
even-
just like pre-record his like
I don't
on
even
stage
think I'm
moments,
watching it.
and then just, like,
George, watch 10 minutes of the thing from last night and tell me it does not look exactly the same as his Summer Games Fest thing, which looks exactly like the Game Awards that he does.
So you're saying you're looking forward to the Game Awards in December?
December 8th, I think.
This shit is
showed the date.
mislabeled.
I showed the
This
date.
Okay, so this game is Atlas Fallen. This is a different game. It's completely mislabeled, but Atlas Fallen looks cool.
I was gonna say that was gonna be one of my last games that I wanted to talk about, because that was like they're kind of like fighting in the desert, and then like they just start slashing shit and doing things, and I was like, oh, that looks cool.
The only thing I'd be worried about for the finals is it's made by Nexon.
Who's that?
I think they made Maple Story.
isn't that a good game?
I mean, Maple Story was successful for a long time.
Yeah, but it's the type of games that they make. They're all like microtransaction based games.
Good news is none of these games really come out this year, so we can wait. You know what I mean?
Speculate.
There was another one too, like the Lords of the Fallen, that looked kind of cool, but it wasn't like something that was like super on my list.
Okay, I think we should.
Yeah.
Okay, let's end this episode now. I think we've talked about like all the interesting stuff from the Gamescom presentation. So everybody, thanks for listening this far in the podcast. Make sure to join us next time online when we have Jeff Keighley introduce us.
Oh,
Wow.
we're one of his favorite podcasts.
Yeah, we're his
That
favorite
woman got
podcast.
deleted.
Bye.
Or that girl
Bye.
got deleted.
Thank you for listening, but before you go, please make sure to like and subscribe to our show. And leave a comment with whatever thoughts you may have. We record a new episode of Last Time Online every week, so keep an eye out for the latest episode. From time to time, we stream on Twitch, so if you would like to see how we act while we are gaming, go over to our channel and give us a follow. We are sponsored by Dubby Energy Drink. Dubby gives you the focus so that you can just be better at video games, all while having no jitters or crash. Click on the link in the description for a 10% discount on your orders on us. We love taking feedback from our audience, so if you have a question for us, you and your question could be featured in our next episode. Check links in the description for ways to reach us and also where to follow each of us on social media. See you next time online.